she gave this TED Talk that I'm going to paraphrase about success. I watched it again right before I came on here so I could get a better understanding of it even further. But I've watched this TED Talk so many times before. I find it really inspiring. I find it very grounding. It reminds me of what I need to do in order to succeed, or what I need to do in order to stay consistent and to get better at whatever I'm doing. And she talked about writing her next book after the worldwide success of the book Eat, Pray, Love. It was this astronomically successful book that became a movie and like just is still talked about now, and it's probably like a 20-year-old book at this point. And she said that whatever she was going to do next was going to be disappointing. Whatever she was going to do next to the people that loved the book, it was never going to be that same book, and it was going to disappoint them. And for anybody that hated the book, they would be angry because it would provide evidence that she still lived. And with no way to win and just all of her overthinking and all of her doubting, she considered quitting the game entirely and stopping writing. But she realized that if she did that, she would be giving up on her calling. So she felt the need to write something regardless of the inevitable outcome, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. She said that she had to find a way to make sure her creativity survived its own success, and how the pressure felt insurmountable to meet the demands of the audience from her first book, and she was never going to be able to write something great after that, and how the book after completely flopped, and how this journey of incredible success to absolute failure reminded her how her creativity could survive its own success. Now, I'm going to break all this down, and I'm going to tell you more about what she says and what I think of all of it, because I think it's incredibly interesting. And she said, in order to explain to you how she overcame her success and her doubt, she wanted to bring us back to before she was successful. She failed to get published for 6 years. For almost 6 years, she had nothing to show for her writing career beside rejection letter after rejection letter every single day in her mailbox. And every time she got one, she was absolutely devastated and was left asking herself, should I just give up on this while I'm behind and spare myself all of the pain that comes with the rejection, all of the pain that comes with this doubt and inconclusiveness about whether she'd be good, whether she'd be great, because she was just getting rejected left and right, and there was nothing to show for her career. And she would find resolve in this by saying, you know what, I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to go home. And home didn't mean returning to her childhood home or her home where she lived now. It meant returning to her work of writing, because that was her home. Because she loved writing more than she hated failing at writing. And that means she loved writing more than she loved her own ego. And that also means she loved writing more than she loved herself. And after the success of her first published book, she felt the same way she felt when she was unpublished for those 6 years. And that makes no sense, right? Like, why would somebody who has incredible success feel the same way as somebody who is a failure in the eyes of society? Because those two people are at incredibly different places in their lives, one failing constantly and one who succeeded beyond her wildest expectations. And this unlocked for her this kind of psychological connection between great failure and great success. They both catapult you into opposite directions. One objectively seen by the world as bad, and one objectively seen by the world as good. But your subconscious does not know the difference between good and bad. It can only feel the exact distance that you have been flung from yourself. And there is an equal danger of getting lost at either side. And the only way to self-restoration is to find your way back home from either direction.